6. Marc-Andre Barriault is 33, a few inches the gap in height. No issues on the scale for these two on Friday. Curtis will have a reach advantage of 1.5 inches. All right, now for the introductions, here is the veteran voice, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC middleweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a striker holding a professional record, 16 wins, 6 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 1 inch tall, weighing in at 184.5 pounds. Fighting out of Boca Raton, Florida, USA, by way of Quebec City, Quebec, Canada, Marc-Andre Barriault. And now, introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding professional record, 30 wins, 10 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 185.5 pounds. Fighting at Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Cincinnati, Ohio, USA, Chris Action Man Curtis! And the action begins. Our referee in charge, Todd Anderson.
Final assignment of the night for Todd Anderson. Luciana Andrade getting us started for round 1. Marc-Andre Barriault says he doesn't like to pick his fights, but this one is like candy. Loves the matchup against the tough, pressuring style of Chris Curtis. Here we go, round 1. Barriault is in red, Curtis in white. Curtis's second son, Barrett, was born late last year. Huge inspiration for him. His eldest son was actually 3 weeks old when he made his pro debut back in 2009.
Chris is very aware of his game. He says that he does pressure you, but he pressures you very smart, tries to draw your attacks out so that he can counter. He said that he knows that he's a counter striker, and most of his opponents do. But what they don't know or see is the way that he sets them up by going forward into him.
At this point, Curtis's story is well documented, but he got a finish on season 2 of Dana White's Contender Series in 2018. No contract. He was absolutely crushed. And the manner in which he rebuilt himself to get back to the UFC, beyond impressive. And then when he got here, he started plucking off big names left and right.
Oh, the first fight that he had in the UFC was a knockout
Phil Hawes.
Of Phil Hawes, and it was stunning. It was in New York City, and we were like, oh my goodness, this kid's the real deal. He really did put it on him.
And then he stopped Brendan Allen less than a month later.
And you know how good that one's aged. Look at how good Brendan Allen is doing now.
Right. Curtis talked to us a lot in the fighter meeting about round 1. He likes to get his reads. Ate a big shot from Barriault there, but is okay with using some of that first round to make those reads and work towards adjusting.
Well, you've watched Chris Curtis, and you know it's very well documented that he's a boxer, and you see that in boxing constantly. Even the greatest boxers in the world, they don't do much at all in the first round. But there's a difference. They have 12. We have 3.
Right.
So you got to get going a little sooner if you're Chris Curtis.
All right, this coach's cam is brought to you by Jose Cuervo Tequila, Eric Nixick, Nate Pettit, Devin Goodall in the corner of the Extreme Couture trained Chris Curtis.
No feints. Just keep moving, Curtis. He doesn't hit you then. There you go. Chop the leg when you can. Halfway. Halfway. Nice. First, stab the body when it's there. Nice. Stupid punch, kick in. Kick punch, kick punch. Move. Nice.
You hear the coaches want Chris to start his combinations with kicks. They want him to go kick first. And you see Barriault do it and land 2 really good kicks.
I mean, it just shows how good Curtis's defense is, because Barriault has opportunities to throw, and he just won't.
And this is a bit abnormal for Barriault. Barriault's usually pressuring going forward. He knows, though, how good of a counter-striker Chris Curtis is.
Yep, he's all offense most of the time, but right now, Curtis has him on his back foot.
Pat Marshall still chiefing the corner of Marc-Andre Barriault, but he has evolved exponentially since aligning with Kill Cliff FC down in South Florida. Curtis chasing his prey early.
Well, see, Curtis is getting frustrated with himself here because he can always throw too and create the fight.
He can, and I was going to say that. He just needs to do more.
There it is. That's what he's got to be doing. He's waiting too much. If he wants to create it, create it.
Well, he said he expected 2 types of fights. It was going to be one way or the other. It's the other right now. Barriault's trying to be the guy that's playing the matador. So he's going to have to be okay with stepping out of himself a little bit and being the one to initiate instead of countering the whole time.
But one of the things you hear about counter fighters is how do you fight a counter fighter? You counter fight him. So he's slowing it down a little, Barriault. But right now you're seeing Curtis make the adjustment, say, okay, you're going to counter. I need to be first now. But now he's letting go just a little bit more. But if he keeps waiting, it's not going to work.
Barriault with that patented high guard. That Curtis offering got through, as did that right hand. Nice uppercut from the Canadian.
And that right there, Dom, is what you speak to about Chris Curtis and his defense. He said that's his greatest stat. Nobody hits him clean. Barriault landed that beautiful right hand, but it hit Curtis on the elbow because he turned just enough to make sure it didn't hit him clean.
All right, this corner cam is brought to you by Prime Hydration, the fastest growing beverage in history with only 25 calories, 0 added sugar, BCAAs, and electrolytes, now available at Walmart.
Good. Me too. Get back on your calf kick. That was a freebie. Yeah. Why not? It was fucking all day. That's right. Hey, stay ahead. Stay ahead of this guy. Every time you're leading the pace and dictating the pace, he's got nothing for us. Listen to me. When we get him up to the choke points or the corner post, straight lines, your left hand, get your fucking left cross going, and then reload it. What you got? Corner post. The calf kick, straight cross. And then I overhand it. Don't get lazy.
Right here you see Barriault with a nice straight right hand down the middle. Curtis returns with a left to the body. Beautiful body kick and a jab by Barriault. And you see Chris Curtis with that straight lead left hand. Started to pressure. As his coaches are asking him, give him a little bit more when he gets in the trap.
Our next UFC fight night is coming up February 3rd from the Apex main event. A matchup of international middleweight contenders, Georges Roman Dolidze facing the French finisher Nassourdine Imavov. Main card is a 7 p.m. Eastern start on Saturday, Feb 3. All right, round 2 here. Chris Curtis out of that southpaw stance in white. Marc-Andre Barriault going orthodox in red.
These guys got to fight, though, man. They owe us that. The action man versus the power bar means that they're supposed to fight each other. It can't be like a technical battle. They owe me a fight, man.
Well, the thing is, if you watch Chris Curtis, this is always how he fights. What we thought would be different is Barriault would bring more offense to create some more stir, but he's counter-fighting the same, because you got to fight Curtis a specific way because he waits.
How did you score that first round?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah, it was so close.
They're not throwing a ton, so it's hard to tell when you don't throw a lot.
John?
The numbers were essentially even, but they don't like 10-10s. Our scorecards aren't required, Chad.
Yeah, I know, yeah. You bail out of it. I try to set you up. I just want to know.
I mean, forced to choose, I'll go 10-9 King of Combat Chris Curtis, but I don't like having to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, Marc-Andre Barriault's my teammate at the Institute of Human Performance. Dean Thomas, what's your card?
So I wanted to score it too, and I scored it a 0-0. So that's all I had to say, fellas. It was a 0-0.
Dean Thomas not here to make friends, incidentally.
Dean, I like when you wore that bull costume the other day. Dana White's bull. I like that, Dean.
Twisted steel.
Cut on the bridge of the nose of Marc-Andre Barriault, who just landed a big shot on Curtis, or so it appeared.
You'll see Chris Curtis fight like this all the time. It'll be a little bit slow. You'll hear booing, and then all of a sudden some crazy finish when you don't expect it. So keep a lookout, because these guys are looking for that hole to land something big.
Well, Curtis is touching him now. I just can't believe Barriault's fighting like this. I don't know if I've ever seen him not use his cardio as a weapon. Generally, his pace is to make you work, knowing that when he goes to the deep waters, you can't stay with him. Yeah, that's why it's called the Powerball.
One of the things he said before coming into this fight in the pre-fight interviews is careful what you wish for. He said that, so who knows what he's thinking coming into this fight. But right now you're seeing he's not throwing a ton of offense like he normally does, and Chris Curtis is getting ahead on the strikes. He already got a cut on the bridge of his nose from it.
Yeah, nice sequence there by Curtis, and a ripping body shot by Barriault.
Mostly boxing, not a lot of leg attacks.
Right.
Not a ton of tools being used, very basic.
Body kick for Curtis. Counter left from Barriault, now a knee, but largely blocked by Curtis.
I think one of Curtis's best weapons is when he can throw his punches and get to that clinch and throw those knees. He hasn't thrown any of his knees. His knees are sharp, and he's very good with them. Look how he sneaks in those body shots, though.
Yeah,
those are the things that add up why he gets the finish, because you don't see these little sneaky shots he lands to the gut. And they add up.
Looked like there was some protest there from Curtis as Barriault led with the head. Clashes of heads have been a theme for Curtis in his last couple fights.
Well, now Barriault seems to be putting a little bit more out there. More kicks, more strikes, and just more presence.
We're just so surprised we're not seeing more of that body kick from Barriault, because you can see that Curtis turns towards the opening for that kick. He turns right towards it, keeps the left hand high, but he's so bladed that the kick's there all day to the liver. That one right there, it's there all day.
Well, Curtis hasn't really blocked it.
Hong Lan Song and those in the Kill Cliff FC corner of Barriault begging for forward pressure here late round 2.
That dude can strike.
Yes,
he's
he can.
a good fighter, man.
Inside leg kick for power bar, now a left hook. Crowd getting testy for the first time all night.
And you know what the problem is with this? If you're Marc-Andre Barriault, you'll go home and you'll feel, or after the fight, if he doesn't put pressure on that he normally does, that's a lot of him to have the success he's had, and he loses, and he's not exhausted, he'll regret it instantly. Why didn't I just fight my fight?
I mean, what it is it looks more like sparring, because it's hit, hit, punch, punch, like back and forth, like tennis, rather than how do I get ahead 2, 3 offensive movements at a time and really create the war.
And it's very close in terms of strikes landed. But
This is what we want. Grab a seat. Listen up, motherfucker. Hey, we're in their home fucking town. We're in their home fucking town. I got us up, but we ain't letting off the gas pedal. You got me? If you stay on this motherfucker, you can finish him. It's gonna be the straight left. Stay on him. You got me? Don't let this guy in the fucking fight for no reason whatsoever. You lead the pace. What do you got? Beautiful. Just keep your foot on the outside and move. You're touching him all day long. Hey, have a little fun. You're painting a beautiful picture right now. You got me? On your toes. Let him see you. Hey, gas pedal this motherfucker. Yeah!
Seconds out. Seconds out.
Unrivaled greatness awaits UFC 300 Saturday, April 13th at T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas. Learn more at UFC.com/300. All right, Eric Nixick at his urgent best in the corner of his student, Chris Curtis. They feel like that straight left is going to be there. Final 5 minutes.
Another thing I'd like to see in this last round is combinations rather than one shot at a time. More punches. Really change the fight up.
the way Curtis digs to the body is impressive, though, man. Yeah. He can do it with both hands, too. He can do it with the right side. He can do it off the left side. Coach Nixick thinks it's going to be the straight left for Chris Curtis that's going to get Barriault out of there.
That's why. You see how he throws it? He doesn't telegraph. He flicks it out there, and he doesn't load it at all. It just slides right out there. It's quick.
Good uppercut from Barriault. His jab has been a weapon this round as well. And now a knee lands for power bar. Elbow over the top for Curtis. There's that straight left. Numbers couldn't be much closer, fellas, in terms of strikes landed and thrown.
It's hard to tell who's winning. It's just back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. First round was a little harder to score than round 2. I thought Curtis won round 2 pretty clearly, but it's a close fight.
Big right hand connection by Curtis.
Barriault needs to feint because every time he comes in range, Curtis throws. If he feints, draws out that strike of Curtis, then he can return.
I agree, DC. We're not seeing feints from either of these guys, really. Nothing. Just go and go. Back and forth, back and forth. One shot at a time.
Oh, nice uppercut from Barriault and a counter elbow from Curtis. Now these guys opening up a little bit.
Yep. There's the knees of Curtis there. Landed the body. There it is. Now they're trading. Phone booth fight.
Curtis back to work on that jab. Lead elbow from Barriault.
That was a good read. I think elbows could be there for Barriault all night too. Both these guys. Elbows and knees in that clinch because they're kind of leaning their heads together in that southpaw conventional stance fight.
Oh, nice sequence by Barriault as both fighters land elbows there.
That's where the fight has to almost go because they're throwing one shot at a time. This keeps the combinations going now.
Good right hand by Barriault. Seemingly anybody's fight with 2 minutes to go.
Barriault's pressure starting to get to Curtis a little bit.
Yeah.
He's finally pouring it on though, a lot more than he did. It's like he got more confidence in this third round, eating the shot to Curtis early on.
Curtis is landing a lot of shots himself, especially uppercuts and body shots.
Yeah, this will be the hardest one to judge for them, for sure.
Barriault corner again, not wanting him to back up. And he obliges. Nice connection by him there. Oh! Right hand from Curtis backs him up. Nice uppercut by the action man.
Yeah, the way he slides that uppercut into the body is clean too. I bet those hurt.
Those are nasty.
They're just sneaky, so you don't clinch your stomach for them. They're just sliding in there.
They're right up under that elbow. And then you catch them right under your chest. That's where it really sucks. There's like body shots to the stomach, and then the ones that are like right on the sternum. Those are the ones that make you go, oh, mama. You start calling for your mama when they hit you right under that chest, boy.
But we have seen that patented forward pressure of Barriault in this third round. He has eaten some significant shots.
Yeah, he's got a cut, and Curtis doesn't, so it'll be hard to tell what they see. Curtis likes this phone booth style. That's what he wanted. That's what he's kept
Big body shot
for.
now.
Body shot. Oh my goodness.
That's where he does his best work, right here in this clinch. He waited till the third round to get there, but this is where he's finished so many people, Curtis, in that clinch.
All right, so a little bit of a pedestrian start, but a strong, action-filled third round as Marc-Andre Barriault and Chris Curtis go the full 15 here in Toronto.
Right here you see Marc-Andre Barriault with a nice right hand. Early in the fight, Chris Curtis tries to return. Another body kick by Barriault. This is all in round 1. Curtis lands a left straight here. Barriault tries to throw a knee. Chris Curtis with a lot of inboxing over the course of the last 2 rounds. Good uppercut in close here by the action man. Third round, lands a nice lead uppercut that knocks Barriault off balance. To end the fight, these guys are just standing in a fold booth. Elbows, punches, both throwing, both landing. The last part of the fight is what we expected over the course of 15 minutes.
Chris Curtis certainly finished strong after Barriault got off to a good start in that third and final round. As we await the scorecards, Power Slap 6 goes down Friday, February 9th. From Durango Casino and Resort in Vegas, the main event, the welterweight title matchup between the returning champ Chris Thomas and top contender Emmanuel Muniz. A limited number of tickets are available. For more information, head to powerslap.com right now. So both fighters threw nearly 300 strikes, and they were separated by just 5 significant strike lands. And I do agree with some of that sentiment from Chris Curtis relative to how much offense was thrown. There were probably too many boos for that fight. No surprise to see nary a takedown attempt on either side. But for Marc-Andre Barriault, right, getting a fight live on pay-per-view against a ranked opponent, these opportunities come few and far between. Did he do enough to take Chris Curtis's number? Bruce Buffer has the answer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. Declan Wood scored the contest, 30-27, Curtis. Derek Clearly scores the contest, 29-28, Barriault. And Eric Cohen scores the contest, 30-27, for the winner by split decision, Chris Action Man Curtis.